Hello and welcome to The Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is a gaming community. I'm just one small part of it, and several of the people here with me, all of us are part of The Gauntlet. We're like Negan, except, cool, in that we're all Gauntlet. We are playing Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is a living campaign set in the Star Wars universe with events that sometimes overlap. Currently, the timeline is around New Hope. I will have a New Hope moment that happens very early in the game that people will be like, no, but that's to tie some timeline stuff together with the Rebel Few, which I ran a couple of months ago. Every month, I run a different game system, but all the characters, again, loosely related. And this month, I am running a hack of one of my very favorite games called Lady Blackbird by John Harper, free to download, super good, Emmy award nominated, and anything that's nominated for an Emmy is amazing, said the guy who has a podcast that was nominated for an Emmy last year. Anyway, I'm just soaking it up because pretty soon I won't be the latest Emmy nominated podcast that lost to Ken and Robin. This was co-created with Jesse Ross, who's playing. The good news is, though, that I haven't told him jack shit about what's going to happen. So if he screws up, he's not playing dumb. He literally is ignorant of what's about to happen. So you guys are all on the same page, which is like a blank page, more or less, except Naboo scribbled somewhere on there. This is the fourth of 4 sessions. Hopefully it's going to be a grandiose finish. Tried to play with time and travel and have a long kind of wagon train thing going on, but we mostly hit one asteroid belt and had a bunch of fun there. So this is going to be a relatively quickly paced session. I'm hoping to get through several things. So we're going to do some hard cuts. I may do some pretty hard cuts, meaning like a scene may feel like, oh, I would have liked to have a minute more or so, but it's going to end up on the editing floor. You guys can imagine it later. You can work it in some kind of epilogue. We'll figure it out. But I may do some hard frames as well along the way, try to jot along. I've got a few cool ideas. Again, I also want to leave most for you guys to create, because it's like a jazz session. When I play games, it's like a jazz session. I'm not trying to orchestrate. I'm really trying to jam with you guys. So I've got some stuff, some kickers. Some bangs. So I got to use the right sorcerer terminology if I'm going to go back to the old school. Got some cool bangs in mind and some ideas and situations that I really want to throw at you guys because I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Let's do one last, mostly for the road, exciting quick sentence or two to remind us of all our characters, because a couple of us haven't been together in a few sessions because this has been the weirdest scheduling thing, but that's okay. It's okay. And on that tip, Mark is unable to join us. He is like deathly ill. So I hope you're doing well, Mark. And I really hope you're not one of the E. coli guys. But I know you're not in the area that was mostly affected, but hopefully you didn't get kale or like the lettuce or whatever stuff that was. See, if you don't eat vegetables, you don't get E. coli. That's what I've heard. Okay. All that preamble is now over. We're going to start off with Jesse. Jesse, please tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm playing Sola Panaka, who is the former senator from Naboo. We learned a little bit last time that she has a bit of a, well, obviously has a strong connection to Naboo, but has a bit of a maybe rough and tumble past that was something that endeared her to the citizenry, and she worked her way through the ranks and now is currently on her way back to Naboo.
Thank you, Jesse. Next, we have Matt. Matt, please tell us about your character.
I am playing 52, a clone trooper who is the bodyguard to Sola Panaka. He is a mostly fairly upbeat and optimistic person, despite undergoing some traumatic events in his past and his service in the war. He is very dedicated to Sola and maybe has a crush on her, or we'll find out.
Oh my. Next, we have Michael. Michael, please tell us about your character.
Yes, I am playing Zuto, the intergalactically renowned bounty hunter, who is really just trying to make a living and sleep at night, which is kind of a have your cake and eat it too ideal in the scum and villainy and alleyways of the Star Wars universe. But that's Zuto.
That is Zuto. And last but not least, Pavel, please tell us about your character.
So I'm playing Novar Finn, the last Jedi Knight. Novar is a Carrion race. This kind of guys with like a very tall forehead and a massive brain, and they know and remember a lot. And he really remembered a lot. Last session we learned that he was on the Roche asteroid field when it was destroyed by the dark side. He was trying to save some padawans. He cried for his lost brethren, and he had a change of heart. Instead of hiding, he decided that it is time to take arms. And lastly, we have seen him fight his earlier padawan, the one which he had before Kona, who has fallen to the dark side. So, but luckily he was managed to fend him off, and that party jumped into the ship and escaped.
That's right. And just as a reminder, that was Talon Jaship. Talon is a member of the Sith Order, or has fallen to the dark side. We're a little unclear. He has some cybernetic replacements and works for Captain Hollis, who is the captain over the Imperial Star Destroyer known as the Hand of Sorrow. It's that dramatic pause. It's like actually part of it. It's got period of ellipsis before the name. You have to do it. We pick up with first we have a HoloNet. HoloNet is kind of a holographic projection, like it's the 70s space Star Wars, so it's TV but holograms. We have a HoloNet report. There's a human, because this is Imperial, right? So it's a human woman, and she is going over the sudden explosion of Alderaan, and talking about that. There's a lot of obfuscation about what has happened. They're still trying to figure out if Alderaani had some kind of device that they were trying to create, that the Alderaani are normally peaceful. And of course there are some Alderaanis who are on Coruscant where this is being filmed, and they get interviewed and they're like, we have no idea what's happened. No, of course we weren't involved in any kind of weapons manufacture. The idea of dissidents on Alderaan is just a rumor. So there's a lot of heated discussion there. You can see there are a few people who are upset about the loss of life. No one blames the Emperor or talks about any Imperial involvement in it. And that HoloNet report is seen by Sola. As we come back, we see her on the Blackbird. Zuto's with her, 52 as well. And the three of them are all dressed slightly differently. As we pull back further, and the Blackbird is coming into a checkpoint station right above Coruscant. Coruscant, for those who don't know, is the capital planet. It is the heart of the Empire itself. It's where Emperor Palpatine, when he's not on a Death Star, sits and rules the galaxy as far as many eyes can see. And there is an extremely high Imperial presence here, coming in through the Prelimian trade route, as you have to be able to jump to light speed on the other side of Coruscant. It's very challenging to navigate the spaceways without these particular space lanes. So you decided to roll the dice, as it were, perhaps literally, and make your way through the checkpoint system. Now, Sola, what is the cover? Are you following through with the Akbar Brothers cover that you had from before, or have you flipped to a different cover?
No, I think that one is has worn out its welcome. I think at this point we are I wonder if there's some like sort of other like diplomatic mission that we would be on, but using a different cover than obviously that I am or was a senator. So we would be. So we're here. So obviously this is the capital. There are some important people here. Could we be here like to meet with some members of the Empire about something? I'm not sure. I don't really have a good idea.
Sure.
Anyone have any thoughts?
Well, your ultimate goal is to travel through, right? So it's very possible for Sola to try to work under the guise of some kind of diplomatic mission to Malastare, which would allow you to head down the Hydean Way and get you very close to Naboo, and you could work up some. So the Malastare is the home planet of the Dugs that many thousands of years ago was populated by Zillo beasts. Zillo beasts are basically space Godzillas, and they ate a lot of Dugs, just so you know. But yeah, some kind of diplomatic mission to Malastare would make perfect sense. And yeah, I want to give you an opportunity to be a little bit of an imposter here. So that
actually, would there be? Could we be? So we still have all this Larmal stone that we were going to drop off somewhere, right?
That's correct.
Could we say that we're part of like a relief mission to bring medical supplies and aid to Malastare or somewhere else?
Oh, that sounds great. I really like that. Cool. Let's roll for that. So the ship is floating along. You can see there's a long line of ships. Because there's so much trade that comes to and from Coruscant, even with the Imperial presence, the hope is to continue trade flowing along the trade routes. So they try to keep things moving along swimmingly. And you receive communication. It's a holo from an Imperial representative. Please identify yourselves, gentle beings. We would like to run your idents so that we can speed you along to the rest of your trip. Are you coming to Coruscant for business or pleasure, or are you traveling through?
We are traveling through, but we are here to make connection with the local medical offices. We have a needed supply of antivirals to drop off, and we're just hoping to make connection with your local offices to determine the best place, the best drop point for that.
All right, that sounds excellent. I can provide you with a number of medical offices. Coruscant is, of course, one of the most technologically advanced planets in the galaxy. Please provide us your idents, and with that, you can transmit the information. And with that, I would like to see if you can beat a ob of 2 just for these fake idents to be readable enough to pass this cursory inspection.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'm going to use my reformed scoundrel tag then. So we're pretending to be smuggling something that we are not, that we don't actually have. So 1 for try and 1 for scoundrel, 1 for smuggle. We're in disguise, and we have some secrets. Does sneak make sense too?
I'll give you a sneak. I'll give you either sneak or secrets. I don't think the two.
Okay, I'll take secrets.
Okay.
So that's 5. And I'm gonna throw in 1 die.
All right.
Cool. Six. 3.
3 successes. That is enough to beat that ob, and you're provided with landing coordinates for the closest based on the current orbital, basically the current orbital face of Coruscant, with a medical area to where you can make your landing. Quick question, Zudo, since you're technically the captain of this ship, and by technically I mean you absolutely are, the 2 Twi'leks who were on board, are they still around Aintina and Sunvena, or have you found a place for them to drop off on this travels that we didn't see on screen?
Good question. I think maybe that when we stopped to refuel along the way here to Coruscant, that actually Sunvena probably like left the ship. She just kind of absconded on her own. And then I think that Aintina reluctantly followed her. So they've eloped.
I like it. Sounds good. Oh, by the way, thank you for pointing that out. A key of imposter XP for our fine Sola. We will say that Tanab is where the two Twi'leks dropped off, and they are not with you right now as you guys come into Coruscant. So we have, of course, we cut to you guys coming in from the atmosphere to land. Right, that wasn't just a cover. You actually do want to land on Coruscant. Cool. So you come into land on a landing platform. This is an extension out from this like huge skyscraping tower. There's lots of like a layer of smog that's maybe 15 stories beneath you, and a couple of bots droids are out here to receive you. So what would you like to do, Sola, now that you've landed? You can legitimately trade out the Larmal Stone and pick up some medical supplies if you would like.
I guess, Zudo, what do you think? This is your Larmal Stone, so what did you want to do with it? Did you have a certain person you were trying to connect with here?
It's burning a hole in my hold, that's all I know. I want to get that cred line cinched tight. Let me see the business card that he left for me. I think that I arranged with my contact that there was a particular place to drop off this Larmal Stone. It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily Zuto selling it like on the black market. He's like a smuggling point A to B type thing. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. That's how I envisioned it.
Right. Oh yes, here it is. I have the coordinates for the office.
So part of my original mission was to be trying to connect with Kent Antic to get some supplies for the Alliance, and I'm wondering if there is some connection that I would be able to make here, or maybe that we would have made along the way. So as you are doing your deal, I maybe got some side connection happening with someone who might be loyal.
That sounds awesome. I love the idea of being on Coruscant itself and Sola is there. Yeah, that sounds good. So where are you? Let's say that you need to meet someone in order to make the exchange. At the same time, Zudo is handling the offloading of the Larmal Stone. You're going to need to go out to a consulate office for, let's just say it's a fellow Nabooan. So it's at the Nabooan consulate here on Coruscant. While you're no longer the senator there, you still have a lot of sway. You like that?
Yeah, that's good. Is there any risk, though, of me showing my face around here?
Of course there's risk of you. You should not show your face around here. What are you doing? That is far too risky.
So I feel like I need to have some good disguise then. To even be able to get into the Nabooan consulate. Is there some like particular dress or something so I could look like a I don't know, servant or assistant or something to be sneaking through?
I'm sure that you can put on what they call the Padme, which is servant garb. How is 52? Are you going along? And if so, what's your look?
Of course, I'm going along. First of all, as for my look, probably trying to blend in as a servant too, and I probably left my armor behind, so I'm sure that won't come back to bite me in the ass at some point. But yeah, just I should probably also hide my face because I have one of those faces that
thousands and thousands of others had many years ago. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Sola has some disguise capability. Maybe she did a little makeup or something on me to make me look a little different.
So this is your thing. What have
That
you
sounds
done?
good. Yep.
Did you do the Star Trek
Um,
where you just like put some crap here on his forehead and then all of a sudden he's a different species?
I think we've actually like maybe there were some bits and bobs in Zudo's ship, like leftover pieces that we could use to make him look a little half droid cybernetic implant, kind of a half face mask thing.
Nice, nice. What about Novar? You know, you're here. This is where the Jedi Council sat. This is where the largest the Jedi temples was. Oh, no, it's the past tense there. What are you doing, Novar?
Yeah, I think that Novar, as Zuto is preparing to like go with his cargo, Novar would approach Zuto and say, "Mr. Zuto, if I can have a moment of your time."
Of course, Master.
Cool. So just the backdrop, let's say that like there are some droids and a few alien non-human beings that are offloading the Larmal Stone and you've finished up the contract. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's perfect. Because that doesn't sound super exciting. So
I don't know. It could be super exciting.
I will miss being able to say Larmal Stone because it feels really, that's a great mouthfeel. But yeah, I think if you want to have a moment, that's definitely.
Yeah, well, I was just about to ask if I can go with you to hand it over, but now that that this just happened.
Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. Dang it.
More to say.
No, let's say that let's say it's being offloaded and you guys have to actually take it to a warehouse that's not far away. Is that good? Does that work?
Yeah. Mr. Zuto, let's don't use too many fancy titles, especially around this center of the universe. I was just wondering if you would mind if I touch along with you. Last time you went off on your own, we had to start flying without you. I'd better we just stick together, live together, get this mission over as safely and as soon as possible.
Well, I would hate to turn down someone with your reputation, but for the preservation of my own reputation, I would like to point out that the last time that you went off on your own, you got into a lightsaber duel. I say that kind of as quietly as my big booming vocal bag can do.
Well,
Kona snickers at that.
What can I say, Mr. Zuto? Things happen. I think it's even better that maybe for this moment, not only I will be with you, but you'll be with me, so that nobody will get lost or left behind.
Well, that's not what I'm worried about. I very rarely lose anyone. But I have to say, I've been watching the holovids of your order since I was a boy. And as snide as my comment may have been, it really was quite amazing to watch you in battle.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Zuto. However, this is like the very last resort. I try to fight with the words and ideas rather than with weapons. However, versus Talon Jashep, well, no words can pierce through his armor, so had to use something more persuasive,
Indeed. To be honest, I did not know that there were any of you left around after the change in leadership.
Well, Mr. Zuto, now that you have learned so much about this and about the rebellion, I would think that maybe you would consider joining the rebellion yourself. You see, it's a little bit. You possess a lot of key information. You already know the identity of Sola Panaka and her bodyguard and my own. If I would feel much safer, have you been fully on our side?
Well, I'm not sure I'd want to sully your rebellion with my reputation, especially not with such esteemed members such as yourselves. But it's worth considering, especially after the news this morning.
It's good to hear. We still have some distance to Naboo, so you have some time to consider this. And I'm pretty sure that Miss Panaka would find some lucrative and important missions for you.
One more question, Master Novar.
No, that's enough.
Novar. How old were you when you joined the Jedi?
I was like all other children's. I believe I was 5.
Indeed. So, do you remember your life before then?
Before I joined the order?
Yes. What was it like?
My client is blessed with very long memory, so I of course remember everything from the day I opened my eyes up to now. For better or worse, I would say my life was just like any other kid until some robed men came around and they spoke with my parents, and then I moved to the temple and began my training.
So when you say my life was like any other kid's, I turn and I look at Kona and I kind of like, I want to see like what her reaction to that is, because it sounded like she had a somewhat different childhood than you might have.
Yeah, she has a super different childhood. This is not an eye-rolling experience. It's more of a very closed off, not talking to interrupt her master, but that is not her life experience at all.
But yeah, I'm assuming we have like those like cool like hover sled things that are filled up with the stones. Kind of just like walking by them. What does our place look like? Our meeting.
Oh, cool. So
point?
Yeah, I'm imagining that like you guys take the hover sleds, and then I'm kind of seeing like this huge skyscraper that's like slightly slanted, and so you go on a lift and it's just sliding down and heading down maybe 40 levels during this conversation. It's mostly a Mass Effect illusion that I just made there. And then you come off, the grav sleds go out into a very large, heavily automated, like all kinds of drones flying around warehouse. And yeah, you head to drop off the Larmal Stone. You see that there's oh man, hold on. Let me go to my own little cheat helper, because I do not want to say Toydarian, because that's the first thing that came to my head. There's a Bothan there with several other Bothans, and they have some load lifter droids that come over and start grabbing the Larmal Stone. Bothan comes over with a data pad. The Bothans are like 5 foot tall, so he's looking up. Who signs for this? Who signs it over? This is good. Larmal Stone's looking good.
Good to hear. I'll take that. Scribble.
Good. Excellent work. We'll get a good price for this. Whoever you're moving it for will be very pleased. Good shape. You guys must have been very lucky. Things are getting a little crazy out there.
Yeah, so that's how it seems. Have you heard anything new?
Oh, well, Alderaan. Oh, you guys came from Roche. You must have just missed things. It's under Imperial control now.
Oh my.
Well, make it safer.
Good thing we avoided those taxes, huh?
Yes.
What about on Coruscant? Any interesting developments? Anything we should be aware of?
Well, I'm not sure how out of the loop you are. The Imperial Senate's been dissolved. Palpatine has declared himself emperor. This was the latest big event. He's installing governors to run all of the systems within the core and all the way out to the mid-rim. Outer rim, less control there, just trying to focus resources, an 80-20 role.
Oh, indeed. Yes, I prefer to concern myself with credits as opposed to politics. But it's very nice chatting with you, sir. I appreciate your candor.
Cool. So we'll cut to 52 and Sola as you make your way to the Nabooan consulate. I'm imagining Naboo is this beautiful, verdant, a lot of water, the swamps as well as beautiful lakes and waterfalls and the like. So I'd imagine the motif within the Naboo consulate here on Coruscant, that there are like water features throughout, maybe like a small pond, and this kind of like soft string music that plays. And we see several. I love that Naboo has like color, like people of color. So that is like everyone that you see there. It's sparsely, there aren't a great deal of employees. You recognize a few of them. Sola, of course, right? Being the senator, you may have hired several of them. So how do you, what's your approach as you come into, you may be looking for Millie, who could be maybe maybe Millie was one of your number twos who was able to kind of avoid any of the fallout.
Nice. So one thing I wanted to make sure that we did, maybe there was like a scene slightly before this of me and Fiddy like loading up the artifact that we found from the Jedi temple. And I don't know if like as we're kind of approaching the Naboo consulate, maybe there's like some similar motifs, like some carvings or something on the wall or outside the building to like reflect that idea. So I think the approach is just to, like, we're probably not meeting directly at the consulate. Maybe there's somewhere like right outside. I want to be close and we need to connect, but I don't want that thing to happen where like you recognize someone because they're in the right place,
Right.
Like I feel like we need
makes
to be
total
slightly
sense.
away.
Yeah, maybe we come in so we get a bit of that motif, but then we pull out and it's out on the street level just outside the Naboo consulate, and Millie's coming down. She's got like a hood on because that's all you really need to do in movies to disguise yourself usually. And so she comes down the steps, right, and joins you. She says, "Sola, what are you doing here? They have a warrant out for your arrest for questioning."
There's something that I need you and the rest of the consulate to see. Something that we thought was maybe lost forever. And I open up the bag that I have it in and like have her peek in. Do you know what this is?
She takes a look and her mouth's agape for a moment. This looks like an ancient key, one of the ancients' artifacts.
Right. That's what we suspect. This was found in an ancient Jedi temple and is very likely authentic.
Well, of course it's of great value for our history, but what if it's one of the keys, the planetary keys? You've heard the fables or legends, according to who you talk about. There are keys that would unlock the power of the ancients within Naboo. There are devices millennia old as older than the Republic. If this is one of them, who knows what it would unlock?
And that might be just what we need to turn the tides of this coming massacre.
The Queen has been arrested. The Imperial government has installed a new queen. She's going to be coronated, and she's going to capitulate to the Palpatine. We're losing our freedom.
And the need to get back to Naboo is greater than ever. We are just here to make this stop and make the connection to consulate, but I need to get back to Naboo, and I'm going to need your help and the help of the others here.
Of course, anything you can, whatever you need. There's a great deal of trouble here, and 52, there's a warrant out for your arrest as well.
Not surprising. Sorry, I'm a cyborg now. Not surprising.
She laughs. She's always like 52's humor. Yes, of course. Give me some time to gather whatever supplies. If you have a data pad of what you need, then I'll get it to you. Anything that you need. Papers, because it's Star Wars, so they don't actually have paper. Killing trees, what the hell? We have data pads. No, it's just any kind of documentation that you need for travel to Naboo. Any supplies that we can provide you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Millie. That's you have always been a good friend. And I think with that, like I hand her whatever essential equipment we need. We make sure that the ship is fully stocked, and
you guys are talking for a moment, like a squad of stormtroopers just march by, and everyone's kind of casual about it, but of course you two get a little nervous, and she moves aside and looks at the data pad, right? Cool. Is that good?
Cool.
Good scene? Yeah. Awesome. All right, so is there anything more you guys wanted to do on Coruscant? I feel like you planted the seeds to get the supplies that you need. You were going to make contact with a Bento, but or Kinth Antic, sorry, not a Bento. A Bento Seiko was the person who said she would make contact with Kinth, and you can check the feeds and find that she's contacted him, and he's working on getting the supplies to the rebellion, which can funnel back to Naboo. So success on that piece. Anything more you guys wanted to do on Coruscant before we jump forward a bit? Awesome. Cool. So we pick up with the Blackbird leaving Coruscant. You've been provided effectively, while Naboo, you're not the senator, you have enough cover, diplomatic and political cover, to get yourself onto the Hydean Way without any further Imperial entanglements, as it were. The Hydean Way, if you guys are looking at the galaxy map, the Hydean Way is the thick red line that passes through Galmora, Nubia, passes Aline, and heads down to Malastare. It is going to be, unfortunately, even in hyperspace, it's several galactic days worth of travel. So during that travel, are there any particular conversations you guys want to have? By the way, that was definitely a refresh scene for both Novar and Zudo. So if you guys have any pool you need to refresh, go ahead and do that.
I definitely want to have another scene with 52, even though I still have my full dice pool. But
Yeah.
um,
Cool. So
we can
let's
chat.
let's say that you guys are currently in hyperspace. That work for you?
Sure.
Yeah, you're somewhere near Nubia, which is the point where you're about to cross over the Corellian way, but you're currently on the Hydean way. Cool, Corellian run, not way. But yeah, it's just stars zipping by as you're on one of the space lanes. Where is it 52 that Zudo finds you? Where on the ship?
Probably in the mess hall, trying to cook himself something up nice. But he never really learned how to cook, so he's probably burning something right now. Being like, oh crap, Dad, we need something to put this out.
So I come in and maybe like do like the grease fire trick with the lid, where you slowly cover up the pan and then lift off the lid and the fire's gone. It's like not much of a cook, are you there, friend?
No, but and he looks down at the pan with the burned whatever it was in it. Probably more flavor than the nutrient paste I used to get.
Well, that's what you get when you try to go outside of your area of expertise, right? Speaking of which, you were a soldier in the Clone Wars, mostly taking out droids, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Have you ever taken the life of another being?
Yes. Why do you ask?
You and I were different than the others here. We're soldiers. We're survivors. And sometimes it's just good to see how another survivor ticks. But what happened? Or have you lost count?
There's a lot of things I've been forced to do. What do you know about the Jedi Purge?
What every other citizen of the Empire now would know, right? The Jedi were considered by the Emperor to be a dangerous religious sect, and that they were taken out. Not sure I agree with them. I think that the Jedi were a rather interesting religious group. Didn't deserve persecution, but why do you bring that up?
The Jedi were flawed, but they were some of the most amazing people I ever met. I fought under Jedi General in the Clone Wars, and Palpatine talked about assassination attempts and coups by the Jedi, and it's all lies. They put chips in our brains. They brainwashed us. And all he had to do was say, Order 66. And all of us picked up our guns and we shot our generals, our leaders, our friends in the back.
So Zuto's looking a little skeptical. He kind of like, I lean back on the counter a bit. Like, to be frank, that sounds like an awfully timely excuse. Brain chips, mind washing. It's an easy way to clear a conscience.
I assure you, my conscience is not clear. You don't have to believe it. I found out later. But that's what happened. That was the first time I killed someone who wasn't the machine. It
doesn't leave you, does it?
Never.
Is that why you're working with the rebellion now? Trying to atone?
I'm just here for Sola. Since she came into my life, she's anchored me. She is my rock. She is my Larmal stone.
Oh, sorry, that was funny.
No, it's supposed to be funny.
Didn't mean to break that moment.
He's trying to lighten the mood a little bit. He's not.
Yeah, so Zuta picks up on that, but he's not letting up, right? I say, like, what would it take for you to find peace, atonement?
Well, I don't know. I imagine death will probably help, but I'm not eager to get there. Peace, I mean.
Sure. What about justice?
What do you have in mind?
Well, I think that someone is to blame for the death of the Jedi. I personally would like to see that person come to justice.
Do you think they can do it? Do you think we could do it?
It's something I'm very good at.
Unless Kona lets whoever you're bringing to justice out of an escape pod.
Yes, you certainly are a survivor, aren't you?
I try. I like you, Zuto. You're not.
That's a dangerous opinion to have of a bounty hunter.
Yeah. I see more than just a bounty hunter. And he offers you some of the burned stuff that he was cooking, which he starts eating himself.
All right, move over, hotshot, and I'll start like grabbing ingredients, and we're gonna do a little romantic meal here. So, yeah,
nice. So we cut away from that scene, if you guys don't mind. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. We cut away from that scene to Kona, who is looking at for real. Viewing a little hollow of the first half of that conversation. But Kona stops listening right after the admission of Order 66. And she's flabbergasted. You can see the look of betrayal on her face. Like she never, ever expected this of 52. and perhaps she had no idea about the clone trooper involvement in the Jedi Purge. And so she goes to find you, Novar. Where would she find you? You guys have been in hyperspace for days now.
Since they are in the, I think I think we are also coming onto the mess hall, but a bit different time. Maybe we see a nice montage of the guys that's cooking like in super fast speed, and then and they're just gone, and then there's just no more sitting, and he's now eating something over the table. So we are also in the mess hall, but at a different time.
Oh, okay. So
maybe just sometime later. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I note to self: define several areas on the ship so it's easier to frame them, because I think that's a lack on the Blackbird. She comes to find you then as you're eating, and you can see that her leku are twitching a bit. She's kind of self-consciously signing a bit, and she comes in for reals behind her. Master,
yes,
you. She has a seat across from you. She leans in. You told me that there was the Jedi Purge, but you never told me the 52 was one of them.
52 carries a lot of horrors with himself. It's a long past between me and him.
Which one of us did he kill? How many of us did he kill?
I didn't ask.
Why? Just think what we could do if there were more of us. Look at what he's taken.
Kona, 52 was an instrument of a very well layered plot, and I believe he's changed now. I see no need of questioning him even further, and I seriously doubt he knows of a location of another Jedi. If so, I think since we are now hunted, it's better if there are any other surviving Jedi for us to be separated.
He said that there was a chip in his head. What if they activate it again and he tries to kill you? Are you going to stop him? You can't let him. You're more important than him.
I guess this is part of being a Jedi, Kona, that you can't not trust everyone. You have to find some people to whom you can trust and around whom you slightly lower your guard. But you and I, unfortunately, till the Emperor is sitting on the throne, we can never let our guard down fully again.
Very well, Master. Very well. And she will leave, and she still looks upset. So I think she's going to come and see Sola. Could she find you in your quarters? Is that cool, Sola? Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And like looking over a porch, you maybe have the key out, and it's like a cool leather bag kind of thing. Imagine Sola has a desk in her quarters, right? So she steps inside. Am I?
Oh, Kona. Hello. Welcome. Come on in.
Am I bothering you?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Please come in. What can I do for you?
You notice that Farrell isn't with her. She's dressed in simple robes. And you can tell there's something troubling her. She says, how much do you know about 52?
I know quite a lot, actually. And why do you ask?
Did you know that he murdered some of my people?
Oh, God. Yes, I do know that. And that is something that he regrets every day of his life.
I thought he was my friend. What if they use that chip again? He said he couldn't help himself.
We all are put in difficult situations. And he was bred to be a warrior, but that's not who he is. He's made a different decision. He's trying to become his own person and not listen to those things that were pulling at him and pushing him to do terrible things. Do you know what I mean? Do you have those feelings sometimes too?
Yes, but Master calls them the dark side. We're not supposed to have attachments. We're not supposed to care, but I can't help it. I care. That's what the rebellion's about.
That we need you to care. We need you to care. We need you to have feelings. We need you to... The Jedi weren't perfect. They did good. But now we need people to love one another, to fight for one another, to be strong. And that's what we need from you too. So embrace those feelings.
Okay. I feel like maybe I just need to stay away from 52 for a little bit. It's weird.
I understand if you feel whatever emotions you're feeling right now, that's entirely fair. But know that you and he are on the same side. Despite your pasts, you both ended up here on this ship together, working towards similar aims.
I understand, and I trust you. And then you hear a klaxon, like a meep, 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 and we carry it through the whole of the ship. Zudo is your ship, so we will say that at this point, maybe the reason For Real wasn't there, he is piloting the ship or just watching over maintenance. He throws a communication over the loudspeakers, and here, this is the shining dawn of Naboo, a distress beacon. We are under attack. We've been pulled out of hyperspace, and we're under attack. Can anyone hear us, please?
Zuto leans out of a doorway and spits out his toothpaste. Kark!
Yes, space toothpaste. That's the best. Okay.
Everyone get to your stations. Oh, right. You're not a crew. Who would go
Sola's
to
rushing the comms to respond to that.
Cool. So yeah, you guys can easily jump on the comms, and if you want to establish contact with the Shining Dawn, you can. Oh, thank the Force. This is Gara Biblio. I'm the captain of the Shining Dawn. We're currently under attack for some space pirates. Can you... I think if you're close enough to hear us, maybe you can drop out of hyperspace?
How many are there?
We'll be there right away. Zudo will be there right away.
Just
Let's
like,
go.
whoop, just jump over the captain. I love it.
So I turn to you, I'm like, oh, we're only one ship, and we're carrying some precious cargo, I'll remind you. We don't want to just add to the pirates' bounty, do you?
Well, no, of course not, but these are my people, and if they're in harm, then we need to go and help them.
Listen, if you want to help your people, we need to get you to Naboo. If we are waylaid by pirates along the way, you'll never reach your destination. And how will you help your people then? We have a mission.
Are you saying that you want to just abandon this helpless ship and leave them? They've called for our help. Zudo?
I'm sure the Empire
Soul drops out of hyperspace.
What do we... So I'm hesitating enough to not like stop that. I'll look out like the viewport. Like, what are we seeing here?
Cool. So you look out the viewport. You're currently in like the black of space. You see that there is a larger ship, kind of like a mama ship. It looks a little on the haphazard side, older. Looks like it is maybe 50 years old, an old Corellian vessel. And then you see that there are a number of smaller starfighters that are attacking this Nabooan frigate. And your guess, knowing, Zudo, how things work being a bounty hunter, is that larger, older frigate has some kind of gravity well generator, and they just pluck these guys out of hyperspace.
And also, from my knowledge of being a bounty hunter, how well equipped are we to get in a space battle with these?
Ooh, space battles for the Blackbird. The Blackbird she can handle herself. I mean, you've got... Hold on a second. You've got 5 double light turbo laser turrets and a double point defense laser cannon. This is a big ship. Like, it is understaffed right now, technically. Like, you could actually carry up to 20 people. Can handle a crew of 10. So she can defend herself. But going up against multiple starfighters is definitely going to be a challenge.
Yeah. See, we're not a navy. We're one ship. If we get too much closer to that gravity well, we're not going to be able to escape back into hyperspace.
Are you saying you're refusing to help?
Fire a couple pot shots off the broadside and maybe buy them a little time, but...
Zudo, are you here to help me on my mission?
Yes, that's why I'm getting paid for.
My mission is to help my people, and we are going there now.
Oh, Commander.
Oh, command it. That is lovely.
All right, but I'm going to get a raise for this. Grab the joysticks and fiddle with the buttons.
52, what are you doing when all this goes on?
Basically, when we drop out of hyperspace, when Sola is talking to them, I'm getting to one of the turrets. I just assume we're going to help.
Nice. As you're heading towards one of the turrets, you pass by Kona, and she looks at you. She was on a comm link talking to Fariel, and I say, okay, just go ahead and nudge us towards that. Yeah, get us right close to the bigger ship. And then she sees you, and she just ducks her head and doesn't meet your eyes.
Kona, plenty of turrets available on the ship. How good are you at space combat?
I'll use the Force. It'll work out. Just
sounds good. Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's great. And she goes to a ladder and tries to scamper away from you.
Put a pin in that for now.
Cool. As you head into the turret, you see that there are a cluster of 4 of these. You recognize them, 52. These are Vulture droid starfighters. They are Republic era, and they were part of the Trade Federation. You have seen and been trained to fight these in particular. They are manned by droids, so they're particular droids that are created to man it. Now, is it possible that they've been retrofitted for sentience? Maybe.
I didn't realize they had sentient droid ships.
They don't. Sentient droids aren't sentient. They're just machines, guys.
Yeah, let's just gloss over that.
It's Star Wars. Come on. Sentient. They're robots, guys. You can make new ones like with just programming. Little kids can make them. It's canon.
Yeah, apparently. Thanks, prequels.
You fixed so much.
52 is not going to hesitate. Get in the turrets, start shooting, trying to take down the droids. It's all memories and instinct right now.
Nice. So, yeah, Zuto, it looks like Kia the Commander XP for Sola, and people are kind of mutinying to try to save this Naboo and frigate. What is Novar doing?
Novar is there. People are running, and he's thinking what to do. He's trying to open his mind and sense. He's like eyes closed. He's like reaching out, and he's sensing if there are some living beings piloting this craft, or are they unmanned or somehow, because Force doesn't work on droids, so no point using Force if there are droids flying this fighters. So he's eyes closed, reaching to see if there are some sentient beings flying those.
Why don't you give me, it's a larger space and it's a little hectic, so I think I'm going to call this a difficulty of 3. I'm sorry, an obstacle of 3. I'll get it right someday. Today's not the day. And on 3, looks like you were trying to use the Force there, but how do you want to ascertain what's going on?
It's like 1 for trying, 1 for Force, 1 for sense, 1 for the Last Jedi, so I'm strong with the Force. Other than that, I'm not sure. Are we rolling just to know if there are sentient beings flying those, or do we want to mix it up with, because my idea was to try to conceal our presence if there are humans. So I'm not sure how do you want to resolve it.
So I'm sorry, say again, you're trying to hide your presence? My
grand idea was to try to conceal our presence, to cloak us in the minds of humans using the Force.
But gotcha.
So this is just to know if there are humans, and then another roll to cloak us, or do you want to connect these two?
Connect it. We'll make it a little broader. That sounds good.
Yeah, so So yeah, even though nothing happens on our ship, maybe we see that someone was looking at the scanner because maybe they seen a blip of something dropping out of hyperspace, but then they see nothing on the radar. So yeah, I'm going to be cloaking our approach. For
Cool.
now.
So yeah, if you want to cloak your approach, you'll just need 3 successes, and you'll also get a wealth of information on what's going on. If you want to cloak the Nabooan frigate, that would need 5 successes.
I think yeah, I know the last movie some fucked up some force powers, but I think I'm not that far reaching to cloak.
Well, just remember that you can just go into hyperspace like right now and take out a Star Destroyer fleet if you want. It's okay.
Yeah, but I think our ship
Also
will be broken. Yeah, but I think our ship will be broken by this maneuver.
Well, true. Yes.
Pieces.
Don't scuff the paint.
Yeah, so I added die to a total of 5 from conceal, and I'm going to add 2 die from the pool to a total of 7 to try to conceal and learn what is going on. It was DH, yes?
DH, correct. Funky dice.
Yeah.
Holy
Force
crap.
is talking with me.
Oh, I meant to show you guys a cool thing. Since you mentioned that.
Nice.
It's coming with me to Camp Nerdly.
Nice.
2 weeks. I'm going to have to pitch Lady Blackbird or Rebel Blackbird. Maybe I make this into the one shot. And all right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only have 1 failure. Wow. So
What is wrong with me?
yes, you are the last Jedi Knight. Until we have another Last Jedi, but that's so good. Matt, I wish you could come. Mark's going to be there too. We could have like reunited. It feels so good. So you reach out to the Force, Novar, imagining that like your quarters is like austere. I don't even know if you even have a bed, but you still have that little Yoda pillow or the yoga pillow thing, right? The big circular pillow thing. You reach out to the Force and you feel all of the different starfighters here, all 4 of the vultures. You sense the sentience in 3 of the 4 of them, the 4th being a droid. The Yoda pillow it's like all I think of it is this Yoda pillow in my head. So you sense all of them and you're able to cloud their minds, and then the main frigate as well, where your approach is completely masked. And do you also make the Nabooan frigate disappear off of their senses? Like, oh, we can't see it anymore. Do you cloud their minds, or
No, I didn't say I'm doing it before the roll, so no.
Okay.
It was only about our approach.
All
so
right.
Maybe somehow through the meditation, I just like reach and flip a switch to talk to the pilot, and I just say, Mr. Zuto, we will have our drop on them. Don't let's not waste our ambush chance.
Indeed. I should fly with a Jedi more often.
Oh, that's good. If only he clouded everybody coming into Coruscant, but no. It's probably a little easier where you just have a few starfighters, I would think.
Sure.
So you guys, like, we pop on to the pirate mothership, right? And they're all slightly dirty and scuzzy, and very few humans among them, and they just dropped off. They must have a cloaking device. A cloaking device on a ship that small?
Well, hide on the underbelly. Yeah, so like, are we able to just like fly right into their hangar and just like settle down?
Do you want to fly into their hangar? Because you can totally do that.
Well, yeah, if that's within Novar's mind capability. I'd love for us to just be like walking in front of these pirates and like almost being able to like touch their face, but they just can't see us or something. Is that?
Oh, that's insane. I love it.
I'm more like thinking like I clothed our ship, not like
Okay.
not like
Yeah, it's like
I'm taking it too far.
it's crazy. 5 successes, maybe. So yeah, none of the 4 starfighters, the vultures that are out here, they're currently kind of hitting on. They're firing at the Nabooan frigate. One peels off. It's the droid. He's like pinging back to his captain. I don't know if you guys can see this, but right now there is a whole nother ship that's coming in.
Definitely want to target that droid ship.
Yeah, because he's going to turn and actually come at the Blackbird. Here, I'll show you. Come on, guys. So, yeah, there is one vulture starfighter that's headed your way. It's piloted quite well. 52, if you want to draw a bead on that vulture, you are welcome to. The obstacle for shooting this thing out of space, out of the sky, as it were, is a 4.
Okay. Let's see what I got. All right. One for doing something.
Mm-hmm.
One for being a soldier. Maybe not.
It's a tough one. Yeah. We did not create these characters for a whole lot of starfighting, did we?
No.
Ex-Imperial.
Imperial might actually
not be better.
Even then.
Well, you got a full dice pool, bro.
Yep,
good luck.
I do. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do soldier. Do something soldier.
Definitely discipline. I absolutely see that happen.
Yeah, and then I was gonna angle for defend because I'm trying to defend the ship.
I like it.
And then what's the difficult? The ob.
The ob is 4.
The ob is 4. So
you've got 4 dice right there. So how many?
I am a big fan of dumping my pool into things so that I can get more refresh scenes. So I'm gonna drop 4 pool dice into there.
That is what we call optimal play.
All right. 8 DH.
I'm gonna clear the dice.
Thank you.
All right, she's cleared.
No.
Oh my, a failure. Oh, this sounds so good. Sweet. So you trying to dial it in, you've got the grid map and the vultures moving across. You have the pair of triggers there. You try to fire it in, the turbo lasers, just throwing lasers out into space. This vulture just dancing around, spinning, and it curls underneath the Blackbird, and you got a couple of klaxons go off as one of the engines is damaged. And it hasn't quite broken the spell that Novar has cast, but this little ace pilot droid is going to keep harrying you guys. Sola, what are you doing?
Tough. Okay, so where have we gotten to at this point?
You're out of hyperspace. I'm sorry, I haven't done a good job of setting this
up. Are we in the hangar?
I wasn't sure. Like, is that what Zudo actually wants to do? Like, you want to land in the hangar of this bigger freighter? It sounds awesome, because then you have people with laser swords running around.
Yeah, indeed. And now that we're one engine down, I think we're running out of options. So that might be our best idea.
Come in to land for real, is piloting as best as he can, but of course we're going to bump into a few things coming in. This hangar isn't necessarily sized as made for starfighters. You're able to fit in. It's a tight squeeze. And there you There you go. You guys come in for a landing. Like the landing gear is down, and if you want to drop your the word that I can't ever remember.
A ramp.
The ramp.
Feet.
Feet and ramp. I'll write that shit down and put it up on my monitor.
I want to grab Kona actually and tell her to get ready. Like basically, I'm seeing this as like a rescue mission, so I want her to be ready to like just jump off the ship and start taking out whoever we need to take out in order to help the Nabooans.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, she is happy to unleash some of her frustration and anger upon these pirates. That seems like the best plan. Cool. So she takes off her headset and rolls back out of the chair and comes up with our lightsabers and says, "Yeah, this is great. This is for the rebellion." And she'll be heading for the ramp to run out. I would like to take our first break at this point, as you guys are heading out into the pirate ship, and we'll pick up in about 5 minutes. Okay?
Sure.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
Since it's almost May, what's the weather for you guys on the other side of the ocean?
Well, I live in a place called Illinois, which is the weather goes back and forth, up and down constantly. So it's freezing when I get up in the morning, and then in the afternoon, it's gotten about, in Fahrenheit, 40 degrees warmer, and then back down. So lots of fun here.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, we also got snow a couple weeks ago.
I also live in Illinois. I've also been annoyed by weather lately. It's gotten a little bit nicer, though.
It has, yeah. The past week or so, it's been pretty nice. Where do you live?
I live near Bloomington Normal.
Oh, cool.
ISU.
Okay. I'm in Urbana-Champaign.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. The thing that sucks about Illinois is that when summer comes, it's like gross hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you're used to snow,
I'll take your gross hot and trump you with a Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. But you don't have like winter in Florida, so
that's true. We can't even tell.
So it's a gradual dip.
So I have a very, very brief story. So I just walked out to use the restroom on the second level where my son's bedroom is, in my office, and the upstairs bathroom. And I walk across, and he's 12. It's like 10:30 in the morning, and he's still laying in bed, but he's laying like crossways or something. So I stick my head in, and I said, "Oh, you're up." And he had his phone, and he said, "Dad, can you give me a piece of paper and a pencil?" I thought, oh, it must be something that he needs for his game, like a code or something, whatever. I come back in here, I grab a note card, find a pencil. I go in with the note card and pencil, and I say, "Hey, man, the eraser on this pencil's terrible, so don't make any mistakes." And he then writes down, I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but I do want to show it. This is what he wrote down on the paper. Right after asking me to go get a piece of paper and a pencil and saying thank you, he writes down, my throat hurts. This is the genetic stock that I create, gentlemen. So
he's playing the long game, man. He's ready to take Monday off. He's like, this is a 3-day weekend. I've decided this morning I got to start preparing.
Also, that's how you know it's serious, right? He has given you documentation. This isn't just like, "Hey, Dad, my throat hurts."
Do you have a note?
It's here. It is.
Actually, I do. Oh, I'm glad you guys got the amusement out of that. I shared it with my wife, and she just about fell over laughing. So good. All right. So we pick up with you guys moving in down a corridor inside this freighter, and it is obvious right from just the scenes that you can see that this is a fixer-upper kind of freighter. Like, these fuckers have like, we got a lot of money, let's get a new module. Just go ahead. Awesome, we got the cool new module. So it's a little haphazard. I assume you're headed towards the whatever accounts for the bridge. Are all four of you plus Kona traveling together with For Real watching the ship? Got it locked down with a couple of little turrets. Does that work for you guys? All four player characters in one scene?
Yeah, I'm having really hard time picturing it. I think Novak should have posted some.
You're right. It won't be four all abreast. It'll be like 2 and 2. There, is that picture easier?
No? Yeah. I think we need to. I'm sorry to throw a wrench into your plan, but I think just as we are leaving, Nova would have to like come out there and us and just as Sola said to Kona to get ready, Nova would says, "Is that it, Senator? You're going to just send a young girl to hack and slash on some men? Is that the plan?"
No more. I just want your help on this. You are here to help me on my mission. And my mission right now is to help my people. So, please help us. Kona is her own person and she can do what she wants. Kona, what would you like to do?
Kona is a young person training to be a Jedi.
I'm right here, and I want to go kill these guys.
And you see, Senator, that's what's wrong. We Jedis, we don't just go and kill some guys. That's not our Jedi way. And Council, Senate always had a problem understanding the priorities. Yes, me and Kona will head out. We will blow up their generator, but we will not leave a trail of bodies after us of blood and gore. That's the way of the Jedi.
I think Sola just walks up and smacks Novar in the face.
Oh, snap!
Listen. You can blow up generators if that's what you need to do. Kona, come with me.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Master.
Kona, lower your lightsabers. You are not going there.
Oh, I think that you guys are going to need to roll some dice on this as to which side Kona goes. So I will let this be. It's kind of a PvP type option, which Lady Blackbird isn't necessarily built for. So I'm going to set an obstacle of 4 to get Kona to do what you want. And if you both succeed, then I get to do what I want. Does that seem fair? You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yep.
Awesome. By the way, you're definitely hitting Kia the Mentor, Novar. And I think that Sola's got a plan here, so you're trying to be a commander. Zuto and 52, I assume you guys are like watching their back during this argument.
Yeah, I think we're just like eyes wide, like, especially when the slap comes out.
Mom and Dad are fighting. What's going on?
Oh, damn.
Cool. Let's build some dice pools.
So, what did you say the difficulty was going to be?
4.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Paolo?
Yeah, sure. So 1 for trying, 1 for master, 1 for command, 1 for authority, 1 for tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm counseling, but 1 for presence.
Mm-hmm.
Was it enough of a rebuke over there?
I think so. I think I'm because I'm building it from what you said earlier. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jesse probably tried to unmute and accidentally dropped. It happens. Although if Jesse doesn't come back, you win the roll.
if I succeed.
Oh yeah.
And
it goes off
last,
skill legit.
Yeah, and the last one for inspire. So I counted 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted 8 total. I think I will not add anything from the pool, and we will see how it goes.
Okay, cool. So Jesse's back, which means that you don't automatically win.
Yeah, I counted 8 dice total, including rebuke and inspire.
Okay, that sounds good.
Inspire.
Okay,
So I think so, because I'm just like inspiring Khan to do what the Jedi should do.
would do. That's what you trained her for. I totally get that.
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to go. The angle I'm going here is politician. So I'm trying to like win her over. So I've got 1 for trying, 1 for politician, 1 for inspiring her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm trying to charm her and like appeal to her
Oh, definitely.
sense of independence. This is a little speech that I'm giving her. I'm trying to give her some hope. So that's 6. And I'm going to throw in 3. Actually, 4.
Okay. Works for me.
That looks good. 6 successes.
Nice. 6 successes. She looks torn for just a moment. There's like there's blaster fire going on. We see 52 as he takes out a small little pop-up turret that pops down in one of the hallways where you guys were discussing what to do. And then she says, "I'm sorry, Master, but we have to save these people this way." And then she draws out her lightsaber as a dart dashes ahead, running down the corridor. And you hear, "Ah!" What do you do?
Well, I guess Novar stays where he was and says, "Off you go, Senator. There is a mission for you waiting." I'm pretty sure Empire will just put their plan on pause on Naboo. I'm fairly certain they will just, wait. So will I.
Ouch. I think before I rush off, and hopefully before Kona totally rushes off, I just say, like, Novar, I value you and I respect you. And I want you to trust Kona.
Excuse me, please repeat the last word.
And I want you to trust Kona.
It's not about trust, it's about the approach.
She has a fire in her heart, and it doesn't do well for you to quench that. And I feel like with that, I'm just going to rush off and follow Kona.
Nice. You can see it, right? You failed another Padawan, Novar. This is the dark side influencing her.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. So we're going to skip ahead. Again, remember, a lot of this stuff's going to end up on the cutting room floor with 52 and Zudo bursting into the bridge of this pirate vessel. And on the bridge, Zudo, you see their captain, as it were, and you recognize them. This captain is none other than an Ithorian that's known as Moza, a distant relative of yours, Zudo.
Ah, if it isn't Two-Mouthed Mosa.
You guys had the drop on them, right? You've got your blaster carbines, and Moza is seated at, a decent looking captain's chair, mismatched with the rest of the bridge. I'm kind of going for a general layout of like a Star Trek bridge, but way tighter, right? So there's captain's chair, there's the person who's like the comms and shields and the like, and then there's the navigator, right? So there's like 4 people here. And you got a security officer on the deck, and he's going to step in and he draws out his blaster pistol and aims it at you, 52. What do you do, 52?
I say, I don't know if I should just try to stun him right away or just try to talk him down. I haven't used my optimist trait yet, so I think I'm going to just try to talk him down.
Nice!
Like, buddy, this isn't going to go well for you. I don't want to hurt you, I don't want to get hurt. Neither one of us wants to be here. Just put it down. We just want you to, you guys to stop harassing these people. Just
Ooh.
everybody calm down.
Let's go 4 to pacify this guy.
Okay.
To pacify him, right? Without having to shoot him.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost Zudo. Man, so many tech issues today. It's weird. You know why? It's because my throat hurts.
Okay. I'm doing a thing. I'm an optimist, trying to get everybody to calm down.
You felt pretty confident in telling him, listen, we got the drop on you, bro. So I'm good with that.
I'm confident. I'm trying to stay positive, accentuate the positive. I think I'm being pretty polite. I don't know.
Maybe the nicest these guys have had in a while.
Okay. So that's 6. And, I want this to work. So I'm going to throw in 4 dice from my pool.
Nice. Let's see how it goes.
10 dice.
10 dice is a lot.
I'm going to fail again, probably. No, I did it.
That's a super success. Yeah, this guy who... Oh, are you dressed... you're back to like looking like 52, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll say this guy's a Duros, and he drops his blaster, he holsters it, and then crosses his arms, looks over to Moza. Moza says, yes, evidently they have us at a disadvantage. Zuto. Everyone needs to make a living.
I agree. But I am in the middle of my own bread and butter, as it were.
We hadn't even hurt those poor Nabooans. We plucked them out of hyperspace for a hiding away tax.
Yes. You always were so clever. What a sharp wit you have, Mosa. But listen, I've got a bit of a paycheck coming from helping out some Nabooans. Perhaps we could split the difference, make your tax a little bit more amenable.
Now you're talking credits. I like that language. More.
So you just kill me every time with that authority laugh. All right. So how much were you expecting to charge today?
The Nabooans are very foolish, running away from the Empire with all of their worldly goods. We were taking half of what they have and leaving them with the rest. It's a fair cop.
That is awful fair. In my mind, I turned to 52 like, that's not so bad, right?
That's pretty bad.
But
Kono says, listen, we have taken over this bridge. Let's just kill them and get this over with.
Whoa there.
Cripes, Coat.
They were going to take everything that those people had. She's like gesturing wildly with her lightsaber. She's pointing out the viewport. They're just going to take everything that they have. Their entire lives are on that ship.
Kona. Wait. We're having a discussion right now. Let's just see where this goes. Calm down.
Mosa, you mentioned that they were fleeing the Empire from Naboo?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I kind of cock a little eye over to Sola, like, maybe that's relevant.
Yeah.
I'll throw in a few extra credits if you have any information worth sharing with some Nabooans. What's going on the planet?
Oh, the Empire has taken over. The Queen has been arrested. A new queen has been installed, and she will effectively be the governor. Where you're going, you probably don't want to go.
Well, you'll remember, Mosa, that I'm a bit of a daredevil. So, Sola, you can probably just charge this all to the rebellion account, and we'll just be on our merry way, right?
They're all like looking at each other. Rebellion account? And the Jor's yeah, the Jor's like, there's a rebellion account. Are you hiring?
I'm guessing we probably don't actually have the money, right?
Not a whole lot of money, no. Yeah. Like your main cash cow was this planet called Alderaan, so
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. What happened to that again? Oh, yeah.
Space dust.
So I think I'm willing to make them some promises that give them some checks that maybe we can't totally cash.
Ooh, nice. Oh, this sounds dangerous. Yeah, if you want to talk Mosa and her pirate crew into working with the rebellion, as it were, I'm going to set an obstacle of you've got them. I mean, you've got them kind of dead to rights. So I'm going to say it's difficult, right? It's less about are they 100% rebellion and more about are they going to actually play along with this in hopes to get some credits because it's easier money than robbing the Imperial space lanes. So obstacle of 3.
Okay. Let's see, which way do I want to go about this? Okay, I think I'm going strategist here.
All right.
So 1 for trying, 1 for strategist, 1 for plans, 1 for feint, because I'm offering something that maybe we don't totally have. I feel like this is kind of a bold gamble. So that's 5 so far. And I don't know about clever, but I feel like there are some tactics here about trying to negotiate them and understand what they want. So that's 6.
And I'll throw in 1 to help as well, family ties.
Nice.
I can throw in some to help as well.
Nice. How many?
How many dice do we have in the pool so far?
So I have 7 right now.
And the
and we need 3.
I'll throw in another 1.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll with that then. That's good. That's 5. 5 hits.
Nice. Mosa thinks for a moment. She says, I guess you have some new recruits. And she will pop into her little chair console buttons, right? And the droid peels off. Like the one starfighter and the others will pull off of the Nabooan frigate. We send them on their way.
Yeah, I reach out to shake his hand.
Yeah, Mosa will lumber up and kind of tower over you. They've got those like tree legs, like super huge, thick legs, right? And a big hand that comes down and wraps around yours. Like you have like baby hands in this big hand, and you shake it. And then the Nabooan frigate is like the captain. He says, "This is Shining Dawn, Garo Biblo. Thank you all for your mercy. We're going to get back into hyperspace unless you need anything else."
Nope. Go. Just go.
He kind of angles for a little bit, and then you can see the lights of the engines as it fires up. We cut back to Novar. What did you do? Did you go actually destroy the the generator on your own, or was that your plan, or were you going back to the ship?
I think Novar was on the ship. It was just, yeah, as R4RL was defending the ship, Novar was meditating.
Nice, nice, cool. So we show you meditating, and then we're like, you're meditating. We overlay with Sola and the others leaving the bridge, heading back. You're still meditating. They come back onto the Blackbird and reverse out of the hangar. The starfighters all come in, and it turns out that this ship, which I need to name, we'll call it the Calamitous. It's pretty good, right?
I guess what Novar is interested in is the body count.
I don't know, like they killed like 4 or 5 dudes, yeah, on the way down the corridor. Cool. So yeah, you guys are taking out the Blackbird. The Calamitous is following you, and then Kona comes into your quarters, and she stands and waits for you to acknowledge her. What do you do, Novar?
Yeah, Novar lowers down on his yoga pillow.
Nice.
He was of course half a meter above the ground, and yeah. So, how was the mission, Kona?
It was successful, Master. Not only were we able to save most of them, the Naboo frigate is free, and the captain was convinced to join the rebellion.
That's good. That's good. Sounds very fruitful.
It sounds like my way was right.
How many of them have you slaughtered?
3, 4, maybe.
So tell me, Kona, what made you release almost 3 weeks ago a man from captivity on this ship just to go now and murder another 3? Where is this balance, Kona?
Chulo was a good Rhodian. He had kids to take care of. He made a mistake. These people are trying to kill us.
And those 3, how many kids did they have? And wives?
I don't know.
You see, Kona, we Jedi are not the fighters. We try to balance the Force. We are only making sure that the dark side doesn't rule over like they are doing now. And if you start using your Force, your abilities to hurt other human beings, that's the way of the dark side, Kona.
We saved people, Novar. We saved hundreds of people on that frigate.
Yes, that's good. But I'm pretty sure that you, with your abilities, my dear apprentice, were definitely able to just disarm those 3 men without ending their life.
Maybe. I guess, yeah, probably.
Disarming is a rather temporary exercise, I would say.
Well, with a lightsaber, it's pretty permanent.
Nova, I think you might be being a little hard on Kona. She, as I insert myself into the scene.
You've got a secret. You could do it.
She really performed excellently out there. You should have seen her. Graceful, fluid.
There's like a little smile from Kona as she glows from the praise.
Again, Mr. Zuto, it's not about motives. It's about the action. I'm pretty sure that this action that you performed were admirable, but I'm pretty sure that those can be that those could have been achieved without. I don't mind how many lives you take, or 52, or Sola, but Kona has to learn that being a Jedi is something more than using the power to end life. That's what Darth Vader do. That's what the Senator. That's what the Emperor Palpatine do. That's how they are using the Force. That's what distinguishes our two orders.
Well, and how do you expect the people that they are oppressing to fight back? Should we just go up to the Empire and say, pretty please?
Well, the first point of the plan is to rebuild the order. Having some numbers of Jedi Knights, we can go and deal with the heart of the problem, which is Darth Vader and Senator Palpatine. And Emperor Palpatine.
Do you think if you were to take them out that you would solve the equation? That's all it takes is one assassination?
What equation are you referring to, Mr. Zuto?
I've collected bounties on a number of Black Sun lieutenants, pirate captains, villainous men and women across the galaxy, and I'll tell you what, their spot always gets filled.
The only thing we Jedi can do is to show people how to live in harmony, and if they choose not to do so, it's by their own choosing. Our goal is to make sure that the dark side users are not ruling over them.
What about
during the Republic? The Jedi Order was not in power. The Jedi Order was the guardians of the peace.
You're right. It's perhaps not my place to argue Jedi politics in ways. I'm only a cursory fan, I suppose. But I just wanted to acknowledge what Kona did out there. You know, that is all. I hate to intrude on your discussion here, Masters.
Thank you, Mr. Zuto. And now, Kona, let's practice. If you are going to be so rushed, let's practice some force. Maybe you will finally be able to master push and pull. That way, you can next time when you disobey, you can do it the non-lethal way.
Maybe I'll stick around for a minute.
Nice. Cool. So we cut away from that scene with Novar offering some more tutoring. Seems like a bit of forgiveness, perhaps a reconciliation. Not perfect, but good.
Yeah, we totally see that probably Kona is trying to raise some marbles from the floor, and then maybe we are going to something slightly more bigger. This kind of like cool scene where finally maybe she gets to raise like a lot of marbles all around her.
Nice. I like that. And so, yeah, she's raising the barbels. Are there any scenes that you guys want before I jump us to Naboo? I don't want to cut anything off in case there were brief scenes that people need, like refresh scenes or anything like that.
I would do a very quick one with 52. If
oh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
let's do that.
And maybe, Zuto just passes you in the hallway and just like gives you like a little nod of acceptance, just like that mission was cool and it went well kind of thing. But that's all I think we need.
Is that directed at me, Michael?
Yeah, that's Sola, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Why don't we pick up in? This was it's a pretty large ship, so maybe you're I don't know, not a firing range, but maybe 52. You're training or cleaning your weapon, cleaning your carbine. Yeah, I like that.
That sounds good.
Cool.
Is there still like an armory or something?
Yeah. There's like a bunch of other guns that are up on racks, and he's at a work table, and just kind of working with a little brush with like rough. Exactly.
You did well out there. Good job.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry, I think it was my speaker. Anyway.
You did well out there.
So did you.
Thank you. We helped a lot of people.
We did. It was a good day.
It was. How are you?
Better now that you're here.
Sola like blushes a little bit, and she just runs up and gives him the biggest hug. Hopefully his gun doesn't go off.
No, he does not accidentally shoot her in this tender moment.
And into the game. No, that's the worst.
There's just a briefest moment of hesitation, and then he hugs her back. Every time something happens, every time we charge into a fight, I'm worried that that's going to be it, and I'm never going to get to see you again. And so I feel like we're I can't find the words. They didn't train us for this in the clone barracks.
I know.
I love you very much, Sola. You are the most important part of this galaxy to me. I needed to tell you. I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of chances to say it. And I just wanted to say it, finally.
So like puts her hand against his face. This is a war. And I can't promise that we'll make it out to some world where we can live lives of peace and quiet. But while we're here, at least we have each other.
And that's all I need.
She like grabs his hand, and maybe they look out the window and just stare at the stars together.
That sounds like a good place to end the scene. Oh, sorry, you guys want the kiss? No.
Oh, denied. Oh man, the audience is going crazy. They've denied their kiss. Oh, that's awesome. Not even I love you, I know. Oh, you guys, so. All right.
I was trying to. When he said he couldn't find the words, I did say I know.
And then I followed it up with. And then I followed it up with "I love you."
Yeah.
So
all right.
It was
that was good. That was good. The inversion it threw me off, but I totally. You're absolutely right. That is good. We pop back to see the marbles floating from Kona's concentration, and then the ship comes out of hyperspace, and all the marbles drop. It's just like that equilibrium broke her concentration. She gets frustrated, kind of slaps at her leg because she was sitting in crisscross applesauce, like the legs, I'm like, I don't want to call it Indian style. It feels weird. And I don't know what else to call that method of sitting. So I just go with the childish crisscross applesauce. We all know what that means. Maybe not Pavel, but like the legs are crossed like this. There we go. She slaps her thigh and poodoo. There we go. We go up to Zudo, and Zudo, you are there, the cockpit, and you see the beautiful verdant blue and green of Naboo, agrarian planet, a paradise to some, and the Calamitous pops out of hyperspace behind you, and you're in sublight engines, and you see there like just like a fist in orbit over Naboo is an Imperial Star Destroyer. You can see there all kinds of TIE fighters that are kind of screaming out of it and heading down towards the planet. What do you do?
Senator, we've arrived.
And we're not alone.
Were you expecting company?
Not quite so suddenly, but we nevertheless will have to deal with it. Let's land the ship.
Well, do we have a safe landing zone to take her to?
I've made arrangements, so we shouldn't have any difficulties. And I pass off the coordinates.
Nice.
I think Millie's probably like made arrangements for us to get somewhere safe and meet with people who are loyal to the rebellion.
Yes, I like that. And you guys can be heading that way. That is no problem. As you come near, kind of heading around, doing a end around the Star Destroyer, it doesn't look like it's set up a full blockade of the planet. It's more of an impressive image in the sky. Kona says to you, Novar, Master, do you feel it?
Describe it. Describe what you feel, Kona.
Two things. I feel a presence. Someone reaching out. A voice. I think it's Talon. And do you feel it? The key? It's like it's speaking to us.
The key or the Talon?
Both. I hear two voices.
Yeah. Hearing that, Nova will have to take a moment and breathe deeply and try to tune in.
Nice. All right. Well, if you would like to do that, that is an obstacle of 2 to hear one of the two, 4 to hear both.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, that will be 1 for trying, 1 for force sensitive, 1 for sense, and 1 for the Last Jedi. And I'm going to throw in 1 from the pool. A total of 5. Probably will not hear both, but we'll see how it will go. Clear. And 5. Yep, I heard only 1.
Which do you hear?
Yeah, I think. Well, if there are if there's anything from Talon, then definitely the one from Talon.
Cool. Then you will hear Talon Jashup's voice. Ah. Master Friend.
Talon?
I feel you near. Why have you come to Naboo?
I get the feeling that you and I are going to meet again.
We have unfinished business.
You finally decided to renounce your current master and come back to me for the training.
You have nothing more to teach me, but I have something to teach you. I will release you to the Force, Master.
It saddens me, Talon. You were such a promising apprentice. It saddens me to see you like this.
I've seen what you've fallen to. The student that you now hold. A pitiful Twi'lek, a slave. After I kill you, I will take her and show her the true ways of the Force. The power.
I hope that in the end I can make you see the light, Talon, because there is still a way for you to return to the Force.
I will find you, Navar. I will find you on the planet and I will end you. And we will cut scene with the Blackbird followed by the Calamitous. I'm sorry, I'm just so in love with my stupid space name. Because usually I use like tables and other people's ideas, and I'm just calling it the Calamitous, and it makes me excited. All right, so yeah, the janky ass Calamitous coming out around, and just because of where we are at time, you guys will be landing near the swamps of Naboo. As you do, Sola, that key starts to glow. Like you can see the glow coming out of the bag itself. You've got all of the supplies that you wanted to pick up. You could definitely help to foment rebellion here and supplant the masters who are trying to take over Naboo. But then you have this weird crystal.
Do I have like a... So obviously it's calling out to the Force users, but is there like, do I feel like it's drawing me somewhere, like a place for it to be brought?
You do.
Do I have that sense too?
Like it's the power seems to call to the Force users, not that you're aware, but just kind of speaking on a larger level. But there's something about this key that speaks to you, like it speaks to your blood, it sings to your soul.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, if I feel like it's supposed to be drawn to a certain place or brought to a certain place, then that's where I feel like I need to go then.
Awesome. So we will pick up with all 5 of you, Kona as well, and you disembark. That's the term, right? Yeah, you disembark from the ship, and you're walking through the swamps, and then a bunch of Gungans start. Like you see them around trees and the like, right? On swampy trees.
I sort of believe that Novar, now knowing that Talon is searching for him, we have to like disembark and do this solitary mission. So I think as we are disembarking, Novar will come to Sola and say, Senator.
Yes.
There is an unfinished business I must attend while I'm here, and I believe that taking this business to whatever you are going will not be an appropriate action. I will have to leave you for the time being. I would appreciate if you take care of Kona until my return.
That is quite the big step for you. You're entrusting your padawan to me. Did I win you over?
I really wish I said you did, but I have to say that there's just nobody else left.
Oh, Novar. I think I go up to him and I'm just like I put my hands on his shoulders. Whatever you have to do here, we'll be right behind you.
I really appreciate it, but a fight with the past, I believe that too many Imperial troopers might be present. If these things, and I'm just looking at the key, Kona can help you with this one. But my thing over here will be to lead the Imperials on a forced trail somewhere else, giving you the opportunity to act.
I appreciate your tactical sense. Well, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. And I would just like kneel down to be on level with Kona and say, Kona, I need you to stay with Sola and lead her and the others, whatever this key wherever this key wants you to go.
I will, Master. I'll make you proud.
Very well.
We're doing the right thing.
Yes, we do. Please stay with Sola until my return. And maybe there's like a very deep silver lining if I will return, but it's like a very deep one. And we would probably see Nova like jump on some hover bike and trail off to some other place.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be a totally different like set, right? And then we'll like cross cut back and forth. I totally see the like arrival and you're just going into custody, like you're totally doing the thing, right? Oh, that's so badass. That's so sweet. Cool. So we will follow Novar for a moment as he hops onto the speeder bike, and you come into this beautiful forest, and then we see like an ATST is moving through the forest and knocking down a couple of the trees as they're clearing a pathway. And there's one of the, we'd seen it before, like the tri-wing thing where the wings that come down transports, like Imperial transports, and it comes down onto a landing platform that's been hastily erected. Like it's a metallic thing. They just kind of drop down out of the Star Destroyer to set up a new base. And we see just there's like a legion of stormtroopers around, and we see none other than Talon Jashub, who is coming out, and he's got a few just special limited edition stormtroopers that we can sell as action figures later. You have to mail in like a proof of purchase or sign up your email on a thing on Facebook, and you can get it. They look totally badass, and they have these weird looking blaster carbines that people argue about on forums. They look super dope, and they follow Talon Jashub as he heads out, and you guys will meet near this like placid lake.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and there's just a few trees around. You can hear the sounds of the Empire encroaching upon Naboo, and there is Talon. Talon has actually fashioned himself a Sith-styled mask that he dons as he comes up to meet with you, and then you see he has his lightsaber pops up, and it's that kind that drips the energy off like blood and gore. You can hear his laughter behind the mask. What do we see from Novar before we cut away? You guys are about to face each other.
I think we see Novar like turn to face Talon, and don't yet turn on his lightsaber. He's just there, and yeah, and he seems like he's waiting for this final confrontation.
Nice.
He's like motivated to like something big is going to happen over here. Who knows what?
Love it. I love it. Cool. So we cut away to the Gungans all moving around, skulking a bit, and you can actually hear one of them say, Sola Panaka.
Yes. Yes, it's me.
Cool. And then several Gungans will move out of their hiding spaces, and then we see, because we didn't see him die, so he must be still alive. Fucking Boss Nass, played by Brian Blessed, because I don't think that actor's dead yet. So by God, I gotta have his voice in my movie because Brian Blessed is the best. And he walks out. He's got that big, that neck thing, right? He's huge Boss Nass. He's not down in the underwater kingdoms. Like, he's up here in the swamps. He says, I heard that Sola Panaka was on the surface again. What brings you home?
You heard correctly. I come bearing this, and I just reveal the glow is probably radiating, and I open the pack.
Yeah, it's like this amber glow. We have a little CGI effect to make it even brighter, and the Gungans, they drop to their knees, and even Boss Nass, he averts his eyes down. He says, the ancients, you come for the grotto. Yes?
I don't know if I would know what that means. Would I know what that means?
You don't. You don't know what that means. Yeah. He seems to know what it means, but yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The key has been lost for all of our lives, but we know where the lock is. We show you. It's in the grotto. We have always hidden it, protected it.
Please, bring us.
If it has returned home, then we need it. He gestures, and the Gungans all rise up, and they start leading you all. Well, so let's establish a thing. There was a thing in chat, and I want to clarify. Is Kona not here right now?
Good question. I don't. I feel like maybe she's here. Let's have her be here. But I think if there's there could potentially be an opportunity for a flashback thing where she bounces out.
Okay, cool. And people can argue about that all the time. Like, how did that get edited out to where but she's here and here. She can't exist in two places. It's the Force. Okay. Sweet. So we have you guys, all four of you, Kona, and a clutch of Gungans leading to an area in the swamp. And Boss Nass gestures his hand. He's got these baubles on his hand, and they glow a little bit as he gestures with his big meaty hand. And then all of a sudden there's an area of the swamp where all the water just starts spilling in, and you can see that it just drops down, and these steps seem to form with all the swamp water kind of cascading downwards. And the Gungans still care because they can swim, and they start walking down the steps expecting you to follow. Zuto, what do we see you doing right now?
I think before we all follow them into the water or whatnot, I say, Senator, I want to speak with you frankly for a moment. When does this job complete? I feel as if we're coming near the end of our contract. Just want to make sure.
Have you really still just been doing this for the credits? Don't you see that there's a bigger purpose here?
Maybe I'm not the one who will fulfill that purpose.
If you need to be released, then you may be released, but you've proven an invaluable member of our little cohort here, and we'd be ashamed to not have you join the rebellion.
I'll tell you this much. Zuto doesn't give up until the job is done. That's why I just want to make sure that I see this through to the end. But I'm uncomfortable not knowing what that end is.
Zuto, this job may never end.
I've been scammed.
Are you okay with that? You're a good man, Zuto.
Cool.
There's someone's conscience that I wish to ease. And they want to make sure you're safe. Do you intend to continue endangering yourself?
I will do what I need to do for my people, for the rebellion, and for peace.
Even if those who love you will never find peace while you still endanger yourself.
He knows how I feel.
Well, I suppose it's time we got our feet wet. You know, those damn Athorians think they're so clever with their two mouths and gills, and us Otagans, we have to use rebreathers. I pull out my thing, and Mosa thinks they're so clever.
Cool. As you guys start walking down the watery steps towards this grotto, what are we seeing from 52 when you hear the scream of TIE fighters in the air above?
He suddenly jerks his head up, trying to find them, to locate them in the sky, to see if they need to dive for cover, if they have time to get down to the grotto, down where they're going. And he kind of instinctively moves back towards Sola to try to, if worse comes to worse, shield her with his body.
Nice. There are 6 of them, and everyone else picks up on it moments after you. You're keenly aware of this. With this large space of the swamp opening up, it's very obvious. Like, they can spot it from the air. So what you are doing, these TIE fighters have become aware of it. They scream past and head on.
Oh, so they're just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they bank, and it seems like they're headed back towards whatever area they came from originally. They haven't started firing at guys yet.
Can we assume that they're just scouts or something? Like, they're going to report back?
Could be a fair assumption, yeah.
So we gotta hurry.
Boss Nass stays at the top, and he says something in the weird kind of burbling language of the Gungans, and the Gungans all stand with their little laser spears. Seems like they are going to stand guard as you guys head down into this area.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
And so you guys walk down the watery steps and you see an amber light within this grotto. There is something like defies gravity. The water should come in and fill this space, but it does not. It's as if there is this carved out area here, and you see on Naboo there are many statues of the ancients, often 50, 60 feet high. And you see there is a tableau here of the ancients, and there is an area like a platform and a place that looks like some kind of key that goes into a pedestal there. And the key begins to glow even brighter, and you can hear the stones inside this area start to shift and move around. What do you do, Sola?
Did Boss Nass come with us down here?
He can stay up or come down. What would you rather? Would you rather have him here?
I think I'd rather have him here with us. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
With just the rest of the Gungans. And so then I pull the key out, and I look as if I'm about to place it on this pedestal or put it where it belongs. And I turn over to him and I hand him the key. I say, you have been protecting this and guarding this grotto. It's only right that you should see it to completion.
He reaches for very tentatively, his hands, his fingers kind of shift a little bit as he seems nervous, and you hand him the crystal, and the light in the crystal fades. And he looks down. Did I break it? He hands it back to you.
Does it start glowing again, or what does it do?
When you take it back, it starts to glow again. It came to you, Sola Panaka. He gestures. Place the key in the lock.
I do it very carefully.
So over, and there's like a flat. It looks like an obelisk that's been sheared off, and there is a groove. And you move over, and you can slide that key into the groove. And as you do, there are holograms that pop up. You can see areas across Naboo, and you can hear those gears, those stone gears and everything starting to shift and move. And there's a bunch of water, and things start to shatter for a little bit. And not shatter, but things start shifting, and it starts getting louder. You hear you 52 and Zudo, as you're watching all of this take place, you hear some shouts from the Gungans above, and you catch just the faint sound of there's a little water that spills down again, and then you hear a few laser shots outside. What do you do?
First, I curse. Sola, I love you. And he kisses her quickly and draws his blaster and then runs back up. Zudo, coming with?
Looks like it. I'll kind of heft my carbine too and head up the stairs. Too damp in here for my liking anyway.
Sweet. So the two of you head up, And Kona looks like she's going to join you, but then she hesitates and turns back to you, Sola, and says, I should stay here.
Okay. Do you feel something?
I do. I feel... You don't feel them here at all?
Feel what?
She walks over and she puts her hand on your neck. Just like right here. Just fingers touching, grazing enough to have skin-to-skin contact. And you hear in your head, "What is your command?"
I think I take a jump a little bit. What is that? Are those the ancients?
Planetary defense system active. What is your command? We cut away from you to the placid lake where Novar Fryn is facing down his old student. Talon Jashup steps forward, his lightsaber, he dips it down into the lake. It boils and roils with the laser sword energy in it.
Yeah, no worries. No.
Why didn't you bring your apprentice? I wanted her to see you die.
You seem very confident of your abilities, Talon. After our last fight on this rock, you seem oddly confident. I was curious. Do you, now that we are in this place of marvel, in this place full of the force, of the life, the trees, the little insects in the ground, the grass, do you still feel it, or are you only fueled by the anger?
I feel the force. I master the force. I control the force. You are an observer, and you can watch after you're dead. But then he comes forward, brings the lightsaber up, and he's going to try to strike you down. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide on the end outcome. Yeah, why not? Like, let's bring this wonderful lightsaber, and Nova just like blocks the slash from beyond, from the above, and we begin like a dance of parrying and dodging and slashing, and yeah, I think that Nova, he really thought that there is maybe some chance for redeem for Talon, but now he sees that it's that it's not possible, and that if he is to rebuild the order and make sure that Kona is safe, he has to defeat Talon. So he goes to do it. We see them like parrying and dodging and slashing, and then after a moment, probably his like guards took like a position around us, like in a circle, and then we probably will come to this like a lightsaber lock, and we just look on each other in the face, and because so far Nova was still undecided what he should do, but now I think he knows what must be done. He knows that Talon must die over here. So we'll see which direction it will go.
Oh, I love it. This is you feel the hate seething off of him. The Sith has absolutely taken hold of him. There is no redemption for Talon Jashup, and he is now an obstacle of 5. The embarrassment of having lost to you, he has given himself fully over to gain the power that he needs to defeat you, and that is why it is nearly
Yeah.
impossible.
So because I'll be using tags from 2 traits with my secret, I have to extrapolate a little bit on my description. So after we see this like lightsaber lock, Nova like Talon pushes Talon back, and then he like grabs like a big stone and just like tries to smash it into Talon, and then probably like Talon just like launches like a lightning strike, and he just like grabs it on his lightsaber.
Oh yes,
and redirects it to some empty space, and then we see them get back into this lightsaber lock, and we will see how it will result. Who knows? So yeah, that will be interesting. So 1 for trying, 1 for knight, because that's my predominant trait. Lightsaber, quick, dodge, and block.
Yep.
And for secret, I'm using tags from veteran, which is combat tested, tough, fear. No, I was using force. Okay. But how much do I have in force? It should be enough. Last Jedi, throw, and lift, because that's what I described.
Nice.
So I have a 9. Yeah, I feel like I will add 1, and I will add 2 to the total of 11, and I will leave it to the fate.
Leave the chance. It's a slightly better than 50-50 shot here. Let's see. All right, it's a pretty good shot, but it's fine.
And DH 11. Let's see how it goes.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of X's. Oh man, that is a lot of X's.
I'm strong with the force.
Man, you like there's a point where you throw him, he bounces back and lands in the lake, jumps up out of the water dripping off of him. We have like a cool tracking shot, like a shot of him coming aerial over on top of you, the lightsaber coming down, you block it away. And so what is this, like, you have complete narrative authority on how this ends up. I want to know, what does it look like when Novar when he defeats he has defeated Talon Jash. What does it look like?
So I think there is a moment where he just pushes Talon again. He falls on the floor. Just comes in with range. He strikes at Talon. He strikes at Novar. The lightsaber goes through Novar, and then he realizes that this was just a projection. And then we see there's a lightsaber that pierces Talon from the back, and then like a overhead swing takes off Talon head, but the camera really like shows more like a Novar, like he's there standing holding his lightsaber, and we see like a tear of sadness fall down his cheek that he had to end his own apprentice.
Nice. And then he immediately is blocking blaster bolts because the limited edition stormtroopers are firing upon him, because that's what Talon did, because he's a dick and he shoots at you anyway.
Of course.
Cool. So and all kinds of blaster bolts getting thrown all over. A couple of them bounce back, and we cut away from that frenzied gunfire to more blaster fire and 2 more red laser bolts that are coming towards 52 and Zudo. The 2 of you are near a tree. You can hear a pair of ATSTs. There are speeder bikes that are zooming through the swamp, and you've got Gungans that are fighting and dying around you. What do we see from 52 and Zudo as we come near we're near the end, but I definitely want to get like a shot. This is the moment, right? What do we see from Zudo? What do we see from 52? So we'll start with Zudo.
I think we're like back to back against this tree. And we definitely look like battle buddies, like veteran soldiers here. It's like, here we are, doing the mission.
The mission that never ends.
We're both waiting for our payday in one way or another, aren't we?
I have everything I need. I'm just fighting to keep it.
Oh, um, well, let's hope that. Wow, that's a good line. I don't have a good follow up for that. I think we'll just do like a cool bro nod and like stick our guns out.
Nice. Oh, that's such a good line. Cool. So because of time, I kind of like to see, maybe we see from like a broader scope, what is it that we see from Sola and her access to the Ancient's planetary defense system? Like, what's the moment that we see maybe from the horizon as we look over this conflict that's going on?
I think there's just like this big glow that starts emanating from the grotto, and maybe the Gungans that had fallen in battle. Like there's like an energy that comes up from the earth itself or from the planet itself, from the ground, and like fills them, and they sort of are revitalized and take another breath. And we see like maybe some sort of spectral forms of entities that have lived on Naboo for a long time, like rising up and also taking arms against these intruders. And so as we see like Zudo and 52 like going off into battle, they're backed by this kind of spectral and risen army that are backing them up.
Oh man, that's awesome. Then we see some of the stormtroopers like break and run, and we pull back a little further and near the area where the lake, and we see that Novar is making his way back to the speeder bike. The amber glow starts everywhere, like around the trees, around the lake itself, and then it starts to grow brighter, brighter, brighter. We pull back again, and we see Naboo from space, from orbit, and this huge amber shaft of light that penetrates through the hand of Sorrow and just sears it in half. And the Star Destroyer starts to break apart in space. And of course, we cut to the Naboo capital. The people were watching it up, the surprise in their eyes. And then the credits will roll to Rebel Blackbird. And that will end our 4-session series of Rebel Blackbird. I hope you guys had a good time with this. I hope it was a good finale. And if you guys have a few minutes after to do a Roses and Thorns, I would love that. I'm just going to take like 2-minute bio break, and then we will chat through Roses and Thorns. And also, Mark says he's sorry he couldn't, like he just now got up and was sick and said, I'm so sorry I missed. So I just want to share that with you guys. Back in 2 minutes. put my little lower third to block at my new little mic holder is like the base. Cool. Felt so indulgent in saying that Boss Nass is still around, but dang it, I just loved Boss Nass. I didn't do a blessed, like I didn't do a full Brian Blessed, but you know, that might have been a step too far.
It was still good. I was into it.
Sweet. The hood. I love the robe thing, Michael. I really want one of my own. It's so dope.
Wait. What was this like?
Yeah,
logo
what's the thing you were
sign?
showing?
It's
What's
like
the logo?
it's the new Jedi Order or old Jedi Order. I don't remember. I think the new Jedi Order logo.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is so cool.
embroidery there.
Dang. That is awesome. We got
Very-
lightsabers
very
and
cozy.
Jedi robes. It's the best.
I was actually
All
kind
right.
of chilly this morning, so it worked out too.
Cool. So feel free to think over the series, but I definitely want feedback over this session. Thoughts about Thorns, stuff that didn't work for you, rules, quibbles, aspects of the story that didn't gel, anything along those lines, any critical feedback that you have to offer. We will start with Pavel on that. What Thorns did you have from the game?
Okay. Luckily, I managed to write down something to say. So the ending for Sola was really epic, but it was like no choice influence from the player. Just like get there, put it in, say yes, I turn it on.
Yep. Absolutely right. That's very, very good point.
It was epic, but just like
But still, it wasn't about player choice. Yes, that is 100% right.
yeah, I thought that maybe because it really showed that whether Jess was here or not, Sola was always trying to find resources for the rebellion. The reason why she was in the trouble, then on the Roche, then on Coruscant, maybe this should be turning to and replace one of her starting keys, so that when you're going for this like a epic journey, that there's a reason to do something on every stop. That a key of, I don't know, resources for rebellion. Turn this key when you find a new resource for the rebellion.
That's kind of cool.
To incentivize, because it was cool we were doing this, but it was not in the key. So maybe it would be a good idea for the key.
Yeah, it definitely contributes to rewarding the longer term.
Yeah, because otherwise on the stops we don't really have much to do, because at least we could play some, but nothing really is pushing us forward from the key perspective.
Fair.
So that's an idea that since we were doing this, it might be good. And the last thing, well, I sort of really was hoping that Kona will be here, that Mark will be healthy, because I totally had completely other ending in mind. This just had no point when Mark wasn't here. So yeah, unfortunately, health issues.
Yep, it happens. It's my thorn is scheduling. Like, our schedules have been really rough this month, and I'm glad we got as much as we did out of it. But dang it, if I'd had full contingent the whole time, it would have been awesome. Thank you very much, Pavel. Michael, what thorns did you have?
I wish I had been a bit more committed and forceful with Zuto's like morality direction. I think like I paced it out a little bit too slowly, and with the 4 sessions, I just didn't get to either like a big like heel face turn or like a big dramatic like FU moment either. Both of which would have been interesting, and it kind of just ended up being like a slow descent into like being a good guy. I was like, I want that to be. I wish I had made that a bit more dramatic. and bold choice instead of just like, okay, I won't argue with you. I guess I'm a good guy.
So, like, personally, I was waiting for, and maybe I should have just directly called for it. I kept setting you up to buy off the key of the bounty. Like,
yeah.
I should have just asked for it, but like I super wanted that last moment between the two of you back to back to be like, and I buy off the key of the bounty. Guess what? I was, there's this bounty on you, but don't you worry about it. Or I know it's storytelling, but in my head, that was my head canon. I was like, and this will be the moment when Zuto does the thing.
One thing I was kind of angling for with this whole thing of like, hey, how will you find peace and all this justice? I was going to be like, okay, we saved Sola, and now I'm bringing you in. It was going to be like, you have peace, she's safe, and here's your justice for your crimes. And this was my way of thinking. I'm helping you.
Oh wow, that was pretty crazy.
But like again, like I did not time that well enough, so that's like 2 sessions more with that character arc trajectory.
Kind of the story of this campaign was 2 sessions more.
Well, I think that's Zuto's life anyway. But like, I think you're right that I should have just leaving it with a cool bro nod was a little anticlimactic for the final scene. I wish I'd come up with something a bit more dramatic and interpersonal and a good closing line for the two of them. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. This is to me, it was a minor thorn, like a teeny tiny thorn. Thank you very much. Matt, what thorns did you have?
All right, I was starting to type something up, but I guess I can just say it. The thing I was typing wasn't a thorn. It was just a response to what Michael was saying, that you can't come up with clever lines like as good as your last meal every time.
Oh God, that last meal is just so good.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that when I was cooking your meal too. I was like, here we go. I'm gonna put him away, but we didn't get to it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the session, like a lot, and I guess the only really thorn that I really had was, some plot lines got people. I don't know. I didn't do anything with Kona after the revelation of Order 66.
Yes,
and I'm sure that would have come into play if Mark.
I've seen the director's cut of the DVD, but damn it, I should have tried harder to circle back to that because I wanted it.
Yeah, I did too, but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel organic to just be like, "Hey, so did you happen to overhear me say that I killed a Jedi?"
To me, I was like, if 52 and Sola scene versus 52 and Kona's NPC scene, I think we made the right choice.
Yeah, definitely. And
if I'm a druthers, I would have liked to have seen that as well.
Yeah, Mark not being here was it stunk. Like, it didn't make things stink, but I wish he had been here, and it would have been cool to see some of the scenes that would have happened. And then, some other plot lines. I kind of liked Zuto's gradual shift, but another episode or two to like push it and have the big moment where he's like, okay, or where he's like, I'm bringing you in. It would have been cool, and I don't know, maybe we should do a reunion episode at some point and have a bonus with all of us, and then we can do some stuff with Kona and 52 and the bounty and everybody's stuff that they didn't quite get to.
The director's cut episode. These are all the scenes that didn't make it.
Yeah, you could do scenes from throughout the series. Just be like, okay, this one takes place.
God, that'd be so meta and awesome. Holy crap!
Like deleted scenes.
I feel like you should have a series of those anyway, Rich, from like all of your games where you've run. Because I remember we did like 1%er, and there was this whole like showdown between 2 characters that we never got to. Those you just do a series of like, hey, let's play those out.
It's good stuff. Cool. Thank you, Matt. And Jesse, what thorns did you have, sir?
Yeah, in general, I'll say that I thought this was a really good session too. I do feel like I kind of hogged a lot of screen time this episode, which maybe made sense given like the arc we were going for. But I mean, I felt like I got really good stuff out of it, but I feel like I was on screen a lot. So I don't know how we would have balanced that. Maybe had an extra hour or two to play.
I think it was the answer to all of these thorns, right? An hour or two, and Mark showing and not being sick. Poor Mark. Poor guy. He's super sick, guys. Okay. Any other thorns, Jesse?
No, that's it.
All right. Snake order. We stick with you for roses.
Yeah.
What you like?
Go right back into roses. Yeah, I thought this was awesome. It was really fun. It was a satisfying conclusion for me. I enjoyed the final sequence. Even though it was a bit rushed, it felt good and satisfying. Yeah, it was really fun. Great moments with everyone. Thanks especially to Pavel for letting me slap him.
I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Up is down and left is right. But it was good.
So kudos to my fellow players for being awesome and doing good characterizations. So that was fun. Thanks.
Cool. Matt, what roses did you have?
Well, most of the session was big old rose. I enjoyed so much of it. I liked the scenes that I got with Zuto and with Sola. I liked that Novar when. Well, first of all, I like how excited Pavel seems when he brings out his lightsaber in real life. Like I could feel real energy of like, yes, I am holding a lightsaber, and I like that. And I like that he's basically unbeatable because he's got that secret now that lets him roll like 10 dice without throwing anything in from his pool. That is impressive. I liked the exchanges between him and Kona. There was a particular line or two that he said that I can't remember right now that were really good. I wish I could remember it so I could call it out. I think everybody did a really good job. Thank you for the hard framing, Rich. I think that worked really well to push us along through several different types of scenes, and I think it worked really well. And and everybody did great. Thank you for delighting me.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Michael, what roses did you have?
Oh yes, always a great time. Star Wars Saturdays. Every time, I've gotten used to the style of gaming in Gauntlet Hangouts, where it's like you make a character and you're with them for like 2 to 4 sessions max, and it's been really fun to be Zuto for like so long and to really experience them multiple times, and they're a really fun character. So a rose to Rebel Blackbird for creating Zuto as a character. And I feel really honored to be able to inspire that and experience that. Definitely a rose to all my fellow players. Star Wars is like, it's really great that everyone was able to just like lean on that just enough to like have some common like headspace, but everybody really brought it, and like each character felt like a unique person instead of just like an XP or whatever from some Star Wars show. Definitely, Rich, your NPCs and your portrayal of them was killer. Moses' bolt laugh got me. Boss Nass, that must have been a treat for you. And especially Talon Jashub. Oh, yes. I'm going to end you. I'm going to sever your connection with the Force. I was like, ooh, that was chilly. So it was a great time. Yeah, I hope that Disney gets in touch with you and picks you up as a consultant. Gets you in on the next Boss Nass movie that they're going to come out with.
I just want some of the sweet action figure loot, because I will help them come up with special edition figures all the time, all day long.
Battle damage, right? Yeah, I loved it.
Thank you, Michael. Pavel, end us off with roses before I, of course, get to say some too.
Oh, I have a lot of roses. So first one to you, Rich, for a wonderful portrayal of Kona. She was so much more than a just NPC. As it happened this session, it was wonderful. She was really to the point and really felt like the character was there. Amazing disagreement with Sola. It was really cool. At the beginning, I thought, oh my god, random encounter with some pirates, okay. But then you guys turned this random encounter with pirates into this really emotional scene where should I let her just go and slash all these pirates or not? And it was really cool to have some more to the point disagreement. Very good performance from Matt around this big reveal of Order 66. It was really almost like a bleeding experience, almost like I was feeling the sadness coming from her character. It was really well done. And Michael, I think you are an artist of asking to the point questions, at least the one that asked Solar towards Solar at the beginning, and the one I think you were discussing also something with Sola, very good to the point questions that really allow other to reveal some of the character. And it's very weird to give a rose to myself, so I would say that I felt that it was a cool opportunity to embody a Jedi and try to understand what makes them different from the Sith, and and have an opportunity to wonder how should they play the Jedi? Should they? Because it's more than just a guy with a lightsaber. He should have some ideas and strive to be something better. So it was cool to try to play this character and be the Jedi Force for some time.
Oh, thank you, Pavel. I will go ahead and just give you that rose. There were moments in the Kona Novar scene where I felt like I was indulging because I just wanted to see more of Novar's responses, because you were when I play, been doing this for months now, and I play fast and loose with Star Wars canon because I don't want anybody to feel shackled. Right? I really don't, because there's the EU of Star Wars I haven't read nearly enough to be an expert, and I don't want other people to feel like that's a responsibility. That said, the way you played Novar as a Jedi is just we were always on point. It was always yep, that's exactly how I would imagine an original trilogy Jedi, epitome of the Jedi ideal. This is the way I want them to react to things. You had a goal, you had a modus operandi, you had a belief system. All of that was so lived in, and the things that we had Kona struggling with, you're yep, I've already dealt with that, and here's how we do it. And you know what? This is how we deal with things. And it was so good. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed the scenes with Novar, and I love that you were able to juxtapose that kind of thought experiment of Jedi to, and now whip out my lightsaber, because those action sequences were very vibrant in my mind, and I really enjoyed them. Michael, I'm always happy to see Zudo on screen, and it was interesting to see you. This was a different, I wouldn't say different, but this was a different aspect of Zudo than we haven't seen in other games. He just kind of fit in, and he didn't necessarily question the world, right? He was part of the story, but this story about Zudo and challenging those keys, and while you're right, you went more subtle, but we did see a shift. We did see growth, and I admire that. So sure, we didn't have the big moment on scene where everybody dials in and this is the thing that we all have on YouTube clip, but it's still a nuanced and interesting perspective, and I really like Zudo. Like I still like Zudo, and I still feel Zudo is a person who could exist within the world that you've created, right? He's still pragmatic, right? And I like that a lot. Man, so many gold stars to you, Matt, for lines from 52. Like this was the, like, there was shit you said, and I'm like, damn, that is good. And the Order 66 stuff and the stuff with Sola. 52 was just an all-star. Like this, you really came into your moment. There was so much that culminated. Like there are things I want out of the last session of a series, and you paid off. Like bam, bam, bam. All of 52 stuff really paid off for me, and it was very heartening to see you just tick off a list of like, hot damn, good. I get to see that moment with 52, and you're hitting this, and then holy shit, Order 66. And I'm glad nobody got upset that I was like, I have to have Kona listen in on that. Like that was such a juicy steak of like Chulo and 6 kids, like that moment.
I really am really glad you had her listen in, not just because of that, but it also called back her spying on people with the droid. Yeah, that I really enjoyed that too. That
was a good little 2-step that we did there. Again, would have loved to circle back and brought that to closure. That was, that's a thorn that's worthy. Jesse, holy shit, you smacked him. You smacked the Jedi Knight. What, are you crazy? I was like, oh my Lord. Is this game going to fall apart? And I'm like, no, these are both really experienced players, and they're going to play to this moment, because I've been in games where that moment hit and the game died, right? Because there wasn't enough faith. There wasn't enough charity between players, because they all want to be the super badass, chaotic neutral, 12th level, assassin, paladin, badass, and amazing ones. But so I had a flashback to that for a moment, but man, you guys pulled it through. And I was so like, dang, that was a really, really unexpected moment. And that's what I love about RPGs, right? I make these jokes like, oh, and of course, this is the moment when so-and-so happens. And we need that as part of genre, as part of like to carry the story along. But these moments of surprise when the dice will betray you, or when a thing happens that you didn't expect, or you get shocked, like those are the moments I live for. And that was definitely one of them, Jesse. Like, oh man, that was cool. That was really cool. So this was a really, really fun session. I appreciate you guys giving me the month of April to delight in Star Wars nerdery with you guys. Super appreciate it. So had a great time, and look forward to more, maybe more flashback sequences or something. Cool, I'm gonna stop the recording.